Auto masks were just released for Final Cut Pro 12.3. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 different ways to get the most out of auto masks. Tip number 1 is to blur the background. To do so, just simply come on down to your effects and you can look up the Gaussian blur. From there, we'll apply it as an effect. Then we'll come up to this menu and click this nice little icon and select Auto Mask. We have a whole list of all the things it found in the scene, and your first instinct might be to select people, but if we select people, we're going to have to invert the mask. So instead, go to the bottom and you'll see background, and then select that and select Add Auto Mask. Now you can see we have blurred the background and we can come in here and adjust the amount settings, but we can also come down to the bottom and adjust the shrink, erode, and blur settings, and that will help get you a lot better results, especially here on the edges. You can see that our shoulder is kind of getting blurred with it. So if you go in and dial these settings so that you're not seeing the shoulder, you can actually get pretty good results. It'll definitely just take a little bit of playing around with it. If you want a more realistic looking background blur, more like how a camera lens would work, I highly recommend you check out Motion Tools, which I'll have a link to down below. Motion Tools comes with over 100 different effects. And you'll see that I have the defocus blur. So here it is without, and here it is with. And something you'll want to notice is how the highlights actually turn into circles. So here's the Gaussian blur. You can see how everything's just an even blob, whereas the defocus blur looks much more like a camera lens. And if I really boost that up, you can see just how nice it looks. It's a simple thing, but it really goes a long way in making this feel like a more natural blur when you do need to apply it. Tip number 2 on this list is for selective color treatment. I love using this effect when I want everything to be black and white except for my subject. To do so, simply search up the black and white effect in your effects and apply it on your clip. From there, come up to the mask menu, then select Add Auto Mask. We'll scroll to the bottom, and once again, we want to select the background and then select Add Auto Mask. From there, adjust the shrink, erode, and blur settings and get it looking exactly as you want it. Now, just a really quick tip, if you ever find yourself accidentally in this situation where your subject is black and white and the background is colored, you can come up here to this down arrow, then select Invert, and now your subject should be in full color with the background in black and white. Tip number 3 on this list is to use auto masks to place text behind your subject. To do so, simply find the clip that you want to have text on, push Option, click and drag, and that will duplicate it. From there, head on over to your effects menu and look up Auto Mask. After that, we'll apply it to the topmost clip. Then from there, we can simply find the subject that we want to select. I'll just make a basic selection here. And now you'll see that it's wanting to know if I want to select people, skin, hair, clothing, anything like that. Obviously, we could go in and individually select each part of the subject, but I'll just disable hair and enable people to make it a little bit easier, then select Add Auto Mask. After that, I'm going to park my playhead at the very beginning and then push Control T to get a title. From there, we can write in whatever we want. And now to get it behind our subject, I'll just simply sandwich it in between the 2 clips. And just like that, we've placed some text behind our subject. Tip number 4 is actually a whole bunch of tips all packed into one. These are different beauty treatments I do specifically for clients when they want to feel more confident on camera. Starting with teeth whitening. All we need to do is come down to our video effects and I'll look up the color wheels effect and we can apply that onto our clip. I'm actually going to place this a lot higher in the effect stack here. I find that having this higher up tends to get me better results. Find a moment that's showing your teeth, then go to the color inspector and surprise, surprise, we're going to select Add Auto Mask. Let's locate the teeth option and then select Add Auto Mask. And now we'll just zoom in here to look at these beautiful pearly whites. If you're a dentist, look away. From there, I recommend you drop the saturation, not all the way, but just slightly in the highlights and midtones and even a little bit in the shadows. You have to be very careful though. If you push this effect too far, it can look very uncanny. We'll raise the highlights, midtones, and you'll see that now I do in fact have very white teeth, but it looks quite fake. So again, just very minor adjustments here in the saturation and brightness values, but I find that by raising both the highlights and the midtones, you can get a really great looking effect. Here it is before, and here it is after. The next effect I like to use is the Gaussian blur to smooth out the skin. Let's just look up the Gaussian blur effect and we'll apply it onto our clip. We'll back out of here and we'll go once again into the Add Auto Mask menu. And from there, we'll select the skin. Add Auto Mask, and we're done. It's beautiful and perfect. You can't tell me otherwise. But if you want to dial it in, you can come over here to the amount slider. Subtlety, again, is key. I recommend setting this to a value of maybe 1.5, and that's just going to very lightly smoothen out some of the wrinkles and pores on your skin. If you go too far with this, I'll show you just how plasticky you can look. So really, really minor adjustments with stuff like this. Now, if you want even just a little bit more control over the Gaussian blur effect, you could check out Motion Tools, which has some additional controls published in. I mentioned this earlier with the defocus tip. So with Motion Tools, it comes with Gaussian Blur Plus, and I've already gone ahead and applied this as an auto mask to my skin, so I'll take it almost too far. We're at 33. And then we'll just drag back the mix. And this is almost going to give you kind of a pro mist filter effect to the skin, but I find it's a lot more natural, especially by having in this mix slider. If you're interested in getting over 100 different effects for Final Cut Pro, Motion Tools are linked down below. And the last thing I do to really make my clients feel confident on camera is by sharpening their eyes. Sharp eyes are incredibly important at creating engaging videos because that is where everybody is going to be watching. To do that, I go ahead and look up the Unsharp mask, which is again found in Motion Tools, and I'll apply it as an effect. But you can also just use the built-in sharpening from Final Cut Pro. I just find the Unsharp mask to be a little bit more appealing. From there, we can zoom way in here, and surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Surprise. Once again into the Add Auto Mask menu, and we'll head on down to Eye. From there, we can select Add Auto Mask. I've said this a million times, subtlety is key for this stuff, but we can dial in the amount and radius and get a really nice looking effect. And what's really cool about this is it tends to sharpen the highlights of your eyes, which gives you a little bit more of a glint. So that's why I love to use the Unsharp mask on this. It's great at finding those high contrast points and just bringing a little bit of clarity to them. So here is before and here it is after. It's subtle, but I do think it improves your videos and brings a lot more confidence to your clients on camera. And the very last tip on this list is to use auto masks for sky replacements. This actually used to be very difficult with the magnetic mask, but now it's incredibly easy. To do so, head on over to your effects and look up auto mask, then we will apply it on as an effect and select our sky, then select add auto mask. Now, by default, it's wanting to apply the mask only to the sky, but we actually want the inverse of that. So come up to the top right, click this down arrow, and then uncheck invert, and now you should have a removed sky. Next, find a clip that has a gorgeous sky that you would like, and I'm just going to push Option F, which is going to create a freeze frame, or you could do a hold frame if you prefer. Delete the start of the clip, and we could just trim off the end over here on the right side. So now we have a pretty basic sky in place. From there, I'm going to grab the transform tool and we could actually scale this up and drag it roughly into the final position that we want. That's looking really good to me. Maybe we can offset the rotation a little bit. Then from there, we're going to want to track this sky to the scene. And it's super easy. We already have the transform tool selected. So we'll go up to the tracker. Then that should give us this box here. And we can just scale this box down and find something that has high contrast points. So I'm finding that this sand here, there's some dirt and stuff on the sand. I guess that's kind of what sand is. Genius! Move our box over that point. Then we'll select the topmost clip and we'll scroll down. So what we've done is we've added a tracker to the topmost clip and we can find that tracker down here in the object track settings. Let's change the analysis method from automatic over to point cloud. I found that that just gives us a lot more rock solid track for this particular scene. And now that we've done that, we'll go back to the sky and we'll select analyze. And from there, we should have a really rock solid track and you can see that the sky is moving with our scene. If you're finding that it's still a little bit wobbly, that could be it trying to add rotation. So come up to the tracker settings and just disable rotation, and I find that that gives me even a little bit better track in some instances. One last tip, if you want this to look really integrated to the sky, I recommend you duplicate this topmost clip with Option click and drag. We'll bring it down underneath everything. Then we're going to come up and remove the auto mask. You're going to select the new sky that you've added in and add a graduated mask and apply that onto the sky clip. Now we can adjust this graduated mask, and you'll notice that we're actually slightly introducing the original sky that was there, but this makes it look much more realistic and integrated into your scene because we have that realistic haze off in the distance. So here's the shot before the sky replacement, and here it is after. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me for this video. If it was helpful to you in some way, consider pressing the like button so that others can find it, and consider subscribing to help me on my goal of 100,000 subscribers. That would mean so much to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.